Welcome to the Dump Dive. Today, we're really getting into something interesting. It's a book review for Ghost of the Silent Hill.
Mm-hmm.
And this isn't just, your standard horror fare. The review makes it sound like a story where silence speaks louder than words, and the dead refuse to rest. Pretty evocative.
Yeah, definitely.
So our mission, basically, is to unpack what this review is saying, the key takeaways, and see if this gripping novel sounds like something that might grab you.
It's quite a compelling setup they describe. We're introduced to Elena Hart. She's looking for her sister who's gone missing.
Right.
And this search takes her to Silent Hill, this sort of notorious abandoned town. And right away, she's hit with these, well, horrifying visions, cryptic messages, that kind of thing.
Okay, so standard spooky stuff to start.
Well, yes and no.
Mm.
What's really interesting, and what the review seems to stress, is that it's not just a straightforward search.
Yeah. Okay, how so?
It quickly morphs into something deeper. The review says it becomes a journey into Elena's own shattered past.
Right. That phrase stood out to me, too. So that's the psychological angle kicking in strong, then.
Exactly. It suggests the fear isn't just, monsters jumping out,
Uh-huh.
but it's tangled up with her own mind, her memories, her trauma.
Makes sense. That often makes horror feel more substantial, maybe.
Precisely. The review apparently highlights this from Chapter 1, that mix of supernatural mystery, but with real emotional depth. It's not just about being scared, it's exploring how trauma can, twist how you see things, twist reality itself.
So it pulls you into this world where you're not sure what's real and what's internal.
Yeah, that line gets really blurred, apparently. It sounds quite chilling.
And what about the town itself? Silent Hill, the review mentions the atmosphere, right?
Oh, definitely. It sounds like the author really goes to town on painting this picture of Silent Hill with unsettling precision.
Okay.
Things like ruined buildings, that constant fog,
Yeah.
very classic Silent Hill whispers in the dark, creating this intense feeling of claustrophobic dread.
Yeah, I can almost picture that. Like the environment itself is pressing down on you.
Exactly. And the review mentions the writing style immersive, lyrical, yet sharp. Sounds like it really pulls you into the town's secrets.
So how does it actually do that? Balancing the spooky stuff outside with Elena's, internal breakdown.
Well, that's where the craft comes in, according to the review. It points to deliberate pacing and well-timed reveal.
Oh, okay. Not just jump scares.
Right. For psychological horror, that's vital, isn't it?
Yeah.
The tension builds slowly, this kind of creeping dread, rather than just quick shocks. So every little clue about Elena's past, or about the town, is placed carefully to hit harder emotionally and psychologically.
That sounds like skilled writing, making the setting almost mirror her internal state.
Yeah, that's a hallmark, isn't it? Especially for stuff influenced by, say, the Silent Hill games or maybe Stephen King. The place itself is oppressive.
So it sounds really focused on that psychological unraveling. But the review did mention something about predictable horror tropes, didn't it?
It did, yeah.
Does that pull you out of it? Or how does it handle that?
That's a fair question. The review seems to suggest that while some elements might feel familiar, maybe the lone survivor setup, ghostly figures, that kind of thing,
Huh?
the book's strength is apparently in how it uses those tropes. They're not just there for the sake of it, but more to amplify the psychological stuff.
Okay, so they trigger Alina's internal issues, make the familiar feel different through her perspective.
That seems to be the idea. The external horror serves the internal journey rather than the other way around.
Gotcha. And the themes sound heavy. Grief, guilt, redemption. That's a lot to pack in.
It is. But the review praises the complexity of Elena, the protagonist. In good psychological horror, these themes aren't just tacked on, they're the engine driving the internal conflict. It's how the genre often explores, the human condition.
Makes sense. So despite the familiar tropes, it sounds like the character work carries it.
Pretty much. It did get a 4-star rating in this review, so clearly strong overall.
Yeah.
But it wasn't perfect, apparently.
Oh. What were the criticisms?
Minor things, it seems. Mentioned some side characters could have been a bit more developed, and maybe the ending felt a little ambiguous for some tastes.
Okay, fair enough. Ambiguity can work in horror, but sometimes you want answers.
Exactly. But overall, the takeaway was definitely positive, a powerful, emotionally resonant read.
So wrapping this up for you, our listeners, Ghost of the Silent Hill, based on this review, sounds like it's definitely more than just a ghost story.
Yeah, much more.
It's framed as this haunting exploration of loss, memory, and the darkness we carry within. Really seems targeted at readers who like their psychological horror to have Well, a heart, something that gets under your skin.
Mm-hmm. And it leaves you thinking, doesn't it? The review kind of prompts this question.
Yeah,
How much of what really scares us actually comes from inside? That blurring line between the monsters out there and the turmoil within ourselves.
that's a deep thought. And maybe
Yeah.
what secrets are lurking in our own silent places? Something to chew on.